Hey there, Aquarius. This is Chronic Joy Tarot, and this is your current reading for Sun, Moon, and Rising sign of Aquarius, and or anyone who happens upon this video. I feel that if you are drawn to it, then the message is meant for you. Okay? So let's get started. Thank you for being here. I realize that my timing and the pace of my posting my readings has been off lately, and I apologize for that. I'm here now, and we're going to just call this current guidance. I'm not even going to date it because that's really how my readings go anyway. I'm not I'm not an astrologer, so I'm not following the movement of the planets very heavily, and I don't read traditionally. When I read by drawing in the essence of your sun sign, and I really feel that all my videos are really kind of for everyone. However, to sort them out and to bring them to the platform on YouTube, they're labeled as, sun signs. And so prior to pulling cards, prior to starting the video, I shuffle for about 5 or 10 minutes, bring in the essence of your sign, and go from there. But the way my readings go, this is really just soul guidance. This is for all of us to focus on an aspect of ourselves and grow it. Okay? So at any given time, you can check any of my videos and gain from them. Okay? So for you guys, I pulled from the Messages from the Fairies deck by Doreen Virtue. It's an old deck I pulled out of the storage. And Aquarius, I pulled Walk Away. Leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. So I'm not saying that every single one of you are in a unhealthy situation, and probably many of you aren't at this point. Maybe some of you are. But let me just start by saying there is no straightforward guidance for when the right time is, if it's the right time to move away from something unhealthy, whether it's an uncomfortable situation at work, a relationship, an aspect of yourself that you want to leave behind, something that's unhealthy. Maybe it's a habit, or a thought pattern that you have that isn't helping you anymore. This is just and no one can tell you when it's time except you, right? So what we're going to learn is how to dig into our own guidance to know when or where or how it's time to move on from things, whatever those things are, okay? The spread we're doing here with the Zen Tarot deck is called the Flying Bird. We have a point of liftoff, which is kind of your starting point, and then we move through between internal and external energies between the wings to come to an insight or an outcome of the reading. Okay, so your starting point, Aquarius. Oh, well, okay. So how much does that pertain, letting go, to the Walk Away card? So for some of you, this message is strong. For some of you, it's time. Okay? But for some of you, it isn't. And for some of you, it's just a matter of tuning into the signs and the energies within you that tell you when it's time, right? So let's just say that this card for one of you or for some of you pertains to an unhealthy habit that you have. Maybe you, love to eat ice cream late at night, at midnight, and you wake up feeling bloated because of the sugar and the cream and the dairy, and you wake up not feeling good almost every day because you have this habit. I'm going to keep this very, very sort of flippant, just because, well, not that a bloated, sluggish feeling after eating sugar is a flippant subject. But there could be very many others of you that have something really deep going on, and I just want to take your attention off it for a second and lighten up the topic so that you can see how the process works, right? So you get to this point where you're eating ice cream every night at midnight. Oh, I can't stand the way I feel in the morning, day after day after day, right? At what point is it time to stop eating ice cream at midnight, right? Only you know that. But if you start to realize, just like the drop of water here just kind of falls off the lily pad, it doesn't really get thrown off. It doesn't, no one else is telling it to jump off, right? It falls when it's ready. It falls when the weight of it is heavy enough to just let it fall. This is, and this is also a card of emotion, a water card. So this is talking about when that repeated feeling of waking up bloated every morning from that sugar or whatever, when the emotion is heavy enough that you're kind of done feeling it, that you're like, yeah, I don't like feeling this way anymore. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel bloated, but I also don't want to feel angry at myself for eating the ice cream every night at midnight. I don't want to feel this anymore. Yeah, it tastes good to eat the ice cream, but this feeling, it's compounding. It's getting bigger and bigger and heavier and heavier. And I'm ready to let that go, right? So then that creates an opportunity and the space for you to change the habit, to walk away from the situation, to create, a new response to the situation so that you can wait and allow the universe to bring in the options, maybe after a couple of days of not eating ice cream at midnight, you wake up feeling energized, and then you start to walk or run in the mornings, and then you start to feel way better than it felt eating that ice cream at midnight. Do you get what I mean? This is a matter of the transitioning. When the feelings are heavy enough and you're just done feeling that way, that's when it's time. And there is no one answer that's going to be right for all of you. This is an internal job. This is your own process, right? Within you. And you're the only one that knows when it's time and when to take action. Okay? So that's the premise of the reading. Yes, there are things that we have that we want to walk away from. When, right? Only you know that. And it's mainly when it feels so uncomfortable that you've just got to let it roll away, right? It's really about how you're feeling, okay? Okay, so next is going to be this card here. It's an internal energy, and it's actually called the fear of flying in this flying bird spread. So this is a potential block to your progress. So in the art of letting go, in the tuning into yourself and knowing when it's time to move away from it, what do you battle within you the most? And that is a sense of trust in the universe. Trust life. Because even though you need to walk away from that midnight date with your ice cream bowl, you have no idea what's in store if you just allow yourself to open up to the possibility of feeling better. And digging deep within, because this is an internal energy and it's an emotion card, digging deep within to know more is on its way for you. If I could just, step away from this unhealthy situation and rest and just be and trust there's more on its way, it will come. Okay? In your external world, the result of this, or the energy that reacts to this knowing here, this knowing when it's time to let go and then trusting there's more to come. Yeah. So it shows up in your life as a sense of wisdom. Like people could say, how did you know that it was time to stop eating that ice cream at midnight? How did you even know? I trusted. It didn't feel good anymore. And then so I let it go and I trusted the universe. And being able to put that into practice over and over and over brings much more ease to these situations and raises your level of wisdom, because you know they're always working out. You know things are always coming for you, and it's a matter of staying open in order to receive it. So this is a beautiful cycle here. I love the foundation of this reading. The next internal energy that plays off of this entire foundation of recognizing when it's time, letting it go, and then trusting and waiting in a quiet sense of wisdom. The internal energy is sorrow. So yeah, when we let go of things, we feel sorrow. And we do. And that is a part of the process. But it's the foundation of that is the trust card. These are internal energies. This is happening within you that maybe nobody really knows how sad it made you to let go of that bowl of ice cream, right? Nobody really knows how much you miss it. However, missing it is also part of the process. It's part of the energies that you need to move through in order to really open up to what's coming next. Okay, so don't run from your sorrow, acknowledge it, don't wallow in it, but experience it. Experience it, it's okay. In your external position, as a result of these energies, I get the burden. So this is a mind card. This is another, see, the sorrow and the burden are both mind cards. And I'm feeling like this isn't a matter of, oh, I'm going to let go of my ice cream and it's going to make me really sad and then my life's going to be burdened with difficulty. That's not what I'm reading. That's not what I'm getting at all. What I'm getting is, in this process, let go of the unhealthy situation, mourn it a little bit, and then feel the freedom from the burden in your daily life. Feel that freedom. You maybe stopped eating your ice cream at midnight 4 days ago. And like I said, you wake up with more energy and you're engaged in life and you're walking or running every morning and meeting people and really feeling alive. You're freed of that burden of this unhealthy situation, right? So the freedom is on its way to you. It's a matter of knowing when to let go, knowing when to rest and stay open to trust what's coming next. The freedom from these icky feelings of the situation in the first place is there. It's there. It's a matter of, remember, this wisdom, this maturity is the key. Is just that knowing, that sense of knowing, right? Okay, the final internal energy, so moving up the line here, is the comparison card. So I'm getting from this that within you, you may have this little battle that, oh gosh, I let go of that bowl of ice cream, but now, there's so many people around me that they like to eat ice cream at midnight too, and now how come they can handle it and they can manage it and they can have ice cream in their life and I can't, or whatever that situation. I'm sorry to continue the ice cream analogy, but I do want to keep it on a common thread here, and you can apply whatever situation applies to you to that analogy. But it's a matter of, why does everybody else get to experience it and I don't? Why does everybody else get to have a balanced job, a balanced work situation, and I don't? I had to walk away from mine. There is no sense. You're going to spin in circles if you continue that kind of a self-talk. Just as the oak and the bamboo would never, ever think to compare themselves to one another. They're both trees, right? But they have their own unique qualities and they serve their own purpose. So there's no need. What is right for you is right for you. Like I said, when you get to this point of wanting to let go and walk away, only you know when and how and in what way it's right for you. Only you know it. So when you get to letting it go and being vulnerable and open to new ways and letting the universe free you of that burden and that sorrow, when you get through that, don't look back and say, I should have done it this way, or I should have been more like the oak tree. I should have been stronger, right? No, that's not. This is a lesson in knowing that what's right for you is unique to you. And you're the only one that can know what that is, and you're the only one that can reap the benefits from taking action, knowing what's right for you and taking action. You're the only one that and remember, this is an internal energy, so you really are the only one that gets the depth of the gifts that you will receive as a matter of leaving certain unhealthy things behind. And then in your outcome position, I pulled 2 cards. I pulled isolation. So this tells me, sometimes this tells me not to shut others out, that it could leave you in the deep freeze if you shut others out. And perhaps you haven't shared with others how difficult your situation was to leave, or is going to be to leave, or whatever. Or in the future, if you come upon a situation that is really difficult and you need to walk away, right? This doesn't have to, this is a practice to sort of put in your pocket and pull out when it's time, right? Because not all of you are going through difficult things right now, but when they occur, it's tuning in and tuning into how it feels to you. That's going to be the practice. Not listening to others' opinions and that might be where this comes in. Others' opinions, your internal knowing is all that's important. However, because this is in an external position, you may feel like if you share your experience with others and show the feelings and show what you've gone through, it will dissipate that energy, right? It melts away the ice, right? And then the last card I pulled is the Source. So I love this because this talks about your attunement to your inner being, to that deep, deep space within you that really only you're aware of, that where you come from, what you're rooted in, the source of all things. I love this card. So this is in an external position, and this is talking about in an unhealthy situation, going within and feeling the depth of it and knowing when it's time to let go, and then trusting brings about a series of worries and sorrows, but also a sense of freedom. And those are things that you must go through in order to return to this energy of Source, right? These are human qualities. Source is much more than that. And that's always there. It's always there for you. But to return to that, and when you're in a human situation that's difficult and you feel constricted, and you learn to care more about how you're feeling in it than anything else, than anyone else's opinion, than how it might look if you stop eating the ice cream at night. Care more about how you feel than anything else. And by doing that, it starts this process and returns you to your sense of wholeness. Okay? I hope this made sense for you guys. I know I went kind of crazy with that ice cream thing, but I had to. I was committed to that analogy. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I will talk to you again very soon. Okay, bye.